fête et en délire, suffocant sous le soleil et sous la joie. Et j'entends dans la musique les cris, les rires qui éclatent et rebondissent autour de moi.
Égalité, fraternité, but most importantly, Manu Kone. I ain't gonna lie, I was convinced that we were gonna sell him. I was convinced that we were gonna sell him. To me, Manu Kone was already gone. I knew that they were gonna accept the bid. Oh my god, I'm out of breath. Whew. Guys, I'm not that... I need to get back training. Summer gets me. Summer does me dirty. Anyways, so I was convinced we were gonna sell him, and I hate starting this video with my negativism, if that is even a word. But I was convinced that he was gone, because never in a million years did I see the Fredkins say no to a 45 million offer. I thought that he was part of a sacrificing project to get Sancho and Bailey, and this is something that I want to further mention, because Di Marzio has said that Sancho and Bailey are close, and this has also been confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. It's not a done deal yet, but Roma is working on both the Sancho and Leon Bailey, even now that they've turned the Manu Kone bid down and they've declared Manu Kone as untouchable. If we can manage to keep everyone in our team, add the ones that we already added, and add Sancho and Bailey as well, this transfer session gets close to a 9 for me. However, they're not done deals yet, so I'm not gonna speak soon. Today's video is all about Manu Kone. Man, I was scared. There's something about the 15th of August. Every time we get to mid-August, 15th of August, 16th of August, something around the transfer session haunts us. Last year it was Paulo Dybala, this year was Manu Kone. I don't know why it's always around the 15th of August, but there's something about the 15th of August that should make them abolish it from the national calendar. It really should. From the solar calendar, I meant. Every time we get close to these dates, my heart stops, because I know that something will go wrong in our transfer session. Luckily, both times, Dybala last season and Kone this season, went well. But I ain't gonna lie, and I'll be very honest with you, I was negative on both the two deals. I was convinced that Dybala was gonna leave last season, and I was convinced, I was ready to put my hand on fire. I was ready to jump out of a window in saying that Kone was gonna leave. I was convinced, guys. I'm not sure about you guys. Let me know in the comments, but for me, he was gone. For me, he was gone. So the fact that we've turned down this bid is a strong message from the board, not only to the fans, but to the manager. Because something that I said yesterday, I'm not sure if you follow me on Instagram, but I was in the mountains yesterday. I was in the middle of the mountains, no connection whatsoever. I couldn't post a YouTube video. I couldn't post an Instagram reel. The only thing that I had connection to post was an Instagram story. So I posted an Instagram story where I shared my opinion. It was pitch black on the Kone situation. And I was like, it's not like it was something that would never cross my mind. Like, I started this transfer session going that I know that a big player will be sacrificed because we don't have Champions League football. And I started this summer mentally aware that one between Zvelar, Kone and Dika and Sule was gonna leave. I don't want to jinx this because we still have like 2 weeks to go until the end of the transfer session. If we somewhat manage to pull through this transfer session without having sold any of these 4 players, for me it's a massive win. And for me it's a massive win because, in my opinion, you're sending strong messages to the fans and to the manager in the word project. But what I said yesterday regarding this Kone situation was, what doesn't make sense to me is how Gasperini would be so like he would be so positive about selling Kone. That's something that made no sense. Like Kone is arguably the player that Gasperini wants the most. He is not arguably, in fact, certainly the player who suits the way Gasperini wants to play and Gasperini's intensity the best. So was I supposed to believe a scenario where Inter sent a bid to Roma and Roma was like, Massara, Ranieri and the Fredkins went to Gasperini and said, right, so the situation is this. We've got a 45 million add-ons included offer from Inter for Manu Kone. If we let him go, we can get you Sancho, Bailey and potentially even somebody else in attack, which is the area that you want more reinforcements from. There is no way possible that Gasperini would have said, yes, sell Kone. No, I'm not believing in that shit because Kone is such an important player. I would argue he's the most important player on our team. Now, I know that I've said this about Svelor and I've said this about Sule and I've said this about Dybala last season, but Kone is arguably the most important player on our team. Like, there are 4 players which I consider the best in our team currently. Those are Svelor, Kone, Sule, Dybala. These 4 I consider the best 4 players. So any world where you would have gotten one of these 4 players and kicked him out, I would have been pissed because these 4 players are the best and everybody knows this. But there's something about Kone that the other 3 don't give you because of the position he plays in. And that thing is dominance. Can you fucking imagine? And I'm sorry if I'm swearing, we should be all happy here because Kone stays. But the last 24 hours were like... so I'm sorry if I'm letting a few swear words out. Can you imagine having to replace Kone's dominance? Can you imagine we had sold Kone 9 days before the season starts to one of our team, to one of our direct opponents in which we will be challenging top 4 against. All of this, you're selling one of your best players. Like, that is what I would call sports suicide, let alone mistake or failure. That is suicide to me. Selling your best player, the most important player in terms of project-wise, 9 days before the season starts, to Inter. I can understand selling him to Arsenal, but to Inter, a team that you need and will have to compete against this season for top 4. Like, if you wanted to suicide, then you would do that. Luckily, this time around, we used our heads, we used our brains, something that we didn't do for the majority of last season. Thank God we used our brains and realized, oh, you know what? Actually, I'm not gonna try and commit suicide 9 days before the season starts. I will reject the bid. And I will keep Manu Kone with a big statement, 2 exclamation marks, and bring it on. Now, keep him and build a team around him. In a sense that, of course, you keep him, but ideally you need to add players because I would love Sancho and Bailey. And I've already seen a lot of comments going, I don't want Sancho, he's horrendous. I don't want Sancho, he's got attitude problems. Yes, you do want Sancho because you're not a Real Madrid fan, you're a Roma fan. And deep down you know yourself that Sancho can make a difference to us. So I would say don't complain about Sancho, and even better if we get Bailey as well, because that would add so much depth. All of this without selling Manu Kone. Just a little parenthesis on Sancho. There will be a specific video tomorrow, because apparently it's in advanced stages. We only need Sancho to say yes. You can't say no to Sancho. He can be the most idiot player ever. He can be the most inhumane, arrogant, selfish twat that football has ever seen, but you would still take him because we need somebody in that position. And you know that if Sancho turns up well in Italy, he cooks this league apart. Like McTominay did with Napoli last season. Man United kills players. You can't judge players based on their Man United experience, because if that is the criteria, then so many players flopped at Man United, went out of Man United, and revitalized again. So Sancho is a yes, blindfolded for me, and I'm very happy that apparently it's done. Not apparently done, but it's getting close to being done. Bailey as well, adding depth. If we can do all of this without selling nobody, it would be a great transfer session, and I would dare to say that we can challenge for top 3. Yes, because you've added a lot of squad depth and quality. The most important thing is keeping Kone. Really, it's like the most important thing. I just can't imagine. I could not have imagined a team, this team, that midfield playing without Kone. Like, that is something that I'm so glad and relieved about. Because that midfield without Kone is about as useful and is about as good as Sassuolo's one. And I'm not even negatively exaggerating there. If you get Kone out of that midfield, it's like a Torino level midfield. It really is. Because you only have Cristante, Pisilli and El Enawi. Torino probably have a better midfield than that. Kone staying basically would have written 80% of your season. Kone leaving or staying writes and narrates 80% of what this season will be. Really, like it's so massive that we managed to keep him. I can't even stress it myself. And I got a throat ache back again because I've been shouting for the past 20 minutes. I'll be fine if we actually still get Sancho and Bailey. Until then, I won't get my hopes up too much, says Yaki. Everybody knows this, and then leaving out Ndika. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Ndika is also in the top, that list of players that I said before. Sancho, yes, Bailey, terrible, says Roel. Simo's intros never disappoint. When I saw we were eyeing a replacement, I just wanted to sit down at the corner of my room and cry. Selling Kone reminded me of when Salah left for the bargain price. This entire Kone situation reminded me of Dybala last season. Out of nowhere, so quick, and basically it was a done deal, and then Roma said no. And the timings of it were like 1 year ago, the same thing, 365 days ago, on the dot, we were having the same epileptic crisis about Dybala, and then we woke up a day and saw Dybala posting that Instagram video, and we were like crazy. It's the same thing. Like I was having a fucking depressing crisis the last 24 hours. 20 minutes ago, Di Marzio posted that Roma decided to keep Kone, and I'm like, oh my god, thank everyone up there watching, thank God to all the gods. Is it 100% confirmed that Kone is staying? Yes, it is. Di Marzio has confirmed and Fabrizio has confirmed. Fabrizio said that it's a decision coming from the Fredkins who didn't want to sell him because according to Gasperini, he was a key player. Exactly what I'm saying. And I'm supposed to believe Gasperini wanted to let Kone go. Never. You could tell that Kone is the player that Gasperini likes the most. You can tell. You can tell that Kone sees, that Gasperini sees Ederson in Kone. Kone is that player that... Like, and can I just say, even if you want to sell Kone, because look, if you sell him in 2 years' time and make a massive capital gain, I can't say anything. But selling after 1 year, not having seen the best of him, with a manager like that can turn him into a beast, was even on a financial level was a mistake. Like, keeping Kone under Gasperini for another season means that if you do want to sell him in the future, you can get double the amount of money than what you were going to get yesterday. 40 million for Kone. Milan sold Chow for 42 million to Newcastle. Am I supposed to believe Chow is better than Kone? No. 40 million for Kone is nothing for one of the best midfielders in the league, for a hammer of this Roma squad, a player which played every game last season, missed a few because of muscle strains, plays for the French national team. 40 million. Fuck off. Like, genuinely, you can fuck off. Do you remember all those times where I came to you and approached you because of Frattesi, you can have Frattesi, and you were like, no, Frattesi, 50 million and we'll consider him. For a player who sits on Inter's bench and rots on Inter's bench for 80% of the season. Well, you know what, Inter? You can fuck off now. Fuck off. If you want Kone, call back next season and offer double the amount. And then we can sit. Fucking twats. Yeah, look, I'm going to end it here. I'm massively over the moon because this is big. This news has changed my end of summer from this to this. I'm in Rome tomorrow, so updates tomorrow, video, and then I'm going to leave, final part of my summer holidays. I'm going back to France with my family, but I'll keep you updated with reels and videos when I'm there as well. And yeah, I will catch you tomorrow. Sancho and Bailey are getting closer, confirmed by both Romano and Di Marzio. And yeah, we've got a friendly game tomorrow against the Saudi team. Last friendly game before the season starts next weekend. Match reaction tomorrow, and hopefully some here we goes for Sancho and Bailey or something along those lines. Talk to you soon. You know what? 200 likes on this video. Don't be shy. Don't be timid. Hit that thumbs up for Manu, for the Fredkins who said no, and for my poor throat who's got his vocal cords who are about as used as a, I don't know what, I was gonna say a prostitute, but I was gonna, no, let's keep it chilled. I just realized that probably made the connection of, I just realized that a connection with my throat and a prostitute could seem very, very, very weird to some people. My connection wasn't that direct. I was just trying to say that my vocal cords are about as used as a prostitute, but then I refrained and I wanted to stop there. Anyways, let's stop it there. Good night. Talk to you soon. Vive la France. Manu Kone, égalité, fraternité, as always. Hit the like and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye. Simo out.